All right. Welcome back to Daily Update, my 1000 Days Challenge. This is day 411. So let's get things started. All right, so first and foremost, you see a small drop, and that's purely based on the experimental trade setup. So I've been stopped out in terms of entering a long setup a short setup for Bitcoin itself. So it triggered a stop loss. I only updated it today because even though it was triggered yesterday itself. So otherwise, if you look in terms of the update itself, it's still a very similar update. I would say for the US markets, I think things looks a little bit overextended, even though we have retraced about 2 to 5% each in terms of the S&P 500 and Nasdaq. Nothing to be much of a concern about. So anything less than 10%, I'm not really very keen or interested. I'll just stick to the dollar cost averaging monthly approach. That's about it. And on the other hand, for ASH and KWEB, tentatively, there's still a little bit more bearish momentum on China's side of things, especially with the economy and how they are being worked in terms of the capital market itself. As especially we read in terms of recent news of how the Evergrande, one of the second largest property developer, is facing issues. So potentially that could have an outsized kind of an impact for the non-tech stocks for China itself. So on the tech stock itself, things are still also continuously being clamped down, like there's potential news of how NPay or how the CBDC could have an impact in terms of the Alipay and also WeChat Pay in terms of that. So again, that is bearish news for the tech sector in general, which is the two main stock I do hold. So yeah, I'll still stick to in terms of that, but I will be keeping the position a little bit less in terms of allocation wise. And finally, a quick check in terms of Bitcoin wise, there's still a potential golden cross on daily chart. But bearing in mind that the forward chart still looks a little bit bearish, you can see, let me just switch over to Bitcoin. So on the daily chart itself, things looks to be good because we are above that. But if we look in terms of forward chart, we could face short-term kind of rejection, which is actually a good thing. So if we do actually consolidate right below this resistance itself, say for another 8 to 24 hours itself, will be a very bullish sign, especially if the volume isn't very strong in terms of sell-off wise. So yep, I'll be very keen to look for a long setup, but I need it to consolidate for at least, this is the first, second, third. I want some sort of weak rejection. So another 2 more candlestick, and then I'll be interested to put a buy stop on the right above it. But bearing in mind that this is still a key resistance region at 49K to 51K region itself. So if that's it, I've come to the end of today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.